My parents chose my brother's award over visiting me after a car crash. Now they want my savings to bail him out of a fraud scandal. I refused. I was 23 when some guy ran a red light and T-boned my Corolla at a busy intersection. My car spun twice before smashing into a street pole. I woke up in the hospital with a broken arm, 3 cracked ribs, and a concussion that made the room spin every time I moved my head. The doctor said I was lucky the airbag deployed or I'd probably be dead. I called my parents from the hospital bed that same night. My mom answered on the 3rd ring. I told her what happened, my voice all shaky and weird from the pain meds. She went quiet for a second, then said they couldn't come right now because it was Tyler's award ceremony at his company. He was getting some big salesman of the year trophy. She said they'd try to visit tomorrow maybe, and then she hung up, just like that. Tyler is my older brother by 4 years. He's always been the golden child. Perfect grades in high school, full scholarship to business school, landed some fancy sales job right after graduation. My parents threw him a graduation party with like 80 people. When I graduated with my nursing degree, we went to Olive Garden with just the 4 of us. I spent that whole night alone in the hospital room, staring at the ceiling tiles and listening to machines beep. A nurse named Rita brought me apple juice and extra blankets because I wouldn't stop shivering. She didn't even know me, but she stayed and talked to me for 20 minutes during her break. My own parents couldn't be bothered to drive 30 minutes to make sure I wasn't dying. They finally showed up 2 days later. My mom brought grocery store flowers that were already wilting. My dad stood by the door the whole time like he had somewhere better to be. They stayed maybe 40 minutes. Tyler didn't come at all. Too busy celebrating his award, I guess. After I got discharged, I moved into my tiny studio apartment and just focused on recovery and work. I picked up extra shifts at the hospital once my arm healed. Started putting serious money into savings. I wanted to buy my own place eventually. Get out of that cramped studio where you could hear everything the neighbors did. 3 years went by. I barely saw my family except for mandatory holiday dinners where they'd spend the whole time asking Tyler about his job and his new car and his fancy downtown loft. I'd sit there eating mashed potatoes, practically invisible. Then last month, my mom called me out of nowhere on a Tuesday morning. I was getting ready for my shift when my phone started buzzing. She was crying, which she never does. She said Tyler was in serious trouble. Apparently he'd been running some crypto investment scheme through his work contacts, promised people huge returns, took their money, and the whole thing collapsed. Now he had lawsuits coming at him from every direction and needed $70,000 for lawyers and settlements. I just stood there in my scrubs, phone pressed to my ear, not saying anything. My mom kept talking. She said they'd already emptied their retirement savings to help him. Dad took out a second mortgage on their house, but it wasn't enough. They needed more. Then she said it. She asked if I could give them my savings to help Tyler. I actually laughed, like a weird bitter laugh I didn't even recognize. I asked her how much she thought I had. She said she knew I'd been working a lot of overtime, so probably at least 50,000, right? She wasn't wrong. I had 52,000 saved up. Every single dollar came from double shifts, skipped vacations, and living in that studio with the broken heater and cockroaches that came out at night. I'd been saving for almost 4 years to buy a small condo. I told her no, just flat out no. She went silent for like 10 seconds. Then she started yelling, said I was being selfish, said Tyler made a mistake and family helps family, said I was ungrateful for everything they'd done for me growing up. I reminded her they didn't even visit me in the hospital when I almost died. She said that was completely different and I needed to let it go already. My dad got on the phone. He didn't yell, he just said I was disappointing him, said he thought I was better than this. Then he hung up. Tyler texted me that same night. Long message about how he messed up, but he was still my brother. How he'd pay me back eventually. How I was basically ruining his entire life by not helping. I didn't respond. My mom started calling every single day. I stopped answering after the 5th call. Then she started showing up at my apartment. First time I opened the door and she just stood there with this look on her face like I'd murdered someone. She said I had 2 days to think about it and make the right choice. I closed the door while she was still talking.